Hey guys, welcome back to Tracy's Local Learnings. Today I want to go over some questions that were in my chat regarding tapping birch trees. So I'm going to read you a whole bunch of stuff and then we're going to go over a bunch of stuff. So one of the things that I forgot to say when you're doing the original tap is it is very important, hang on here, very important to clean your drill and your tap with alcohol. You don't want to put any contaminants into the tree. So that's very, very important. And that goes the same when you're plugging it. Whatever piece of wood you're going to use to plug the hole, you want to clean it with alcohol. Make sure there's no bacteria or bugs or anything. Okay, so it is known, birch water is known as a spring elixir. It is packed full of, hang on here, packed full of nutrients and prebiotics. It is also packed full of electrolytes. One of the reasons it's known as a spring elixir is because it flushes everything out of your system, kind of detoxifying your system from any blockages or gunk buildup over the winter months. So really, really good for the springtime, which is why it's available to us in the spring. It has 23 plus different antioxidants, and we know antioxidants are good for us. It has potassium, zinc, calcium, manganese, amino acids, organic acids, polysaccharides, phenolic, and bioactive compounds. So it's really, really good for our body, and it's bioavailable to us. It's good for digestion, your gut flora. It reduces inflammation throughout the system. It's really good, from what I've read, for diabetics because it contains abscisic acid, which helps reduce blood sugar levels. Now, do your own research on that. I'm probably saying it wrong, but now the other thing I wanted to tell you guys is you can also get it from a branch. My branches for my birch tree are way too high up. But say you come up to a birch tree and it has branches that you can access, you can simply cut a branch and hang your device on the branch instead of drilling into the tree. And now when it comes to the trees, there's a silver birch and there's a white birch. Now, after doing some research, there are no other trees other than the maple tree that give you water that I have been able to find. So it's just the birch and the maple. Of course, the maple is through the winter months, and then the birch is for springtime. So what I want to show you guys today is I'm going to empty my my birch water one more time, and then I'm going to plug it so you guys can see how that's done. Now, did I have more notes? Yeah, okay, let's get into this. So this is going to be my plug. Can you guys see that? I've just kind of hand whittled it to size. And now I'm going to take, first I'm going to empty my birch water because, you know, I don't want to waste any of it. Now, I've got you kind of on a tree. So let's see if that helps. There we go. Okay, so this is the last of this out of this tree. I'm going to be closing it up so it can rest now. Now you have to, you know, look at taking the water out of a tree, kind of like giving blood. Hang on here. Ooh, I don't want to waste that. Kind of like giving blood. So once you tap it, you need to plug it. Otherwise, it's going to keep running and you're not helping the tree. So, can you guys see that? Hang on here. I want to show you. I literally have my tripod on a tree here. There we go. Okay, so now when I'm taking the tap out, it's just you're moving it back and forth. There's the tap that's coming out of the tree. Okay, so I'm taking that whole device away. Now I'm taking my piece and I'm going to spray it with alcohol because we don't want anything getting into the tree. And now I'm going to go back to my hole, which is right here. And I'm going to tap that in. All right. Now I will come along and trim this off because it doesn't need to be sticking out like that, but it's still, and yes, a hammer would probably be easier, but there we go. Okay. So that is done. It's plugged up until the next time I want to get birch water. And the thing with birch water and with tapping any tree, you never want to use the same hole. You want to move over like 6 inches kind of thing, give it some space, and then tap another area. So if you guys have any more questions, leave it in the comment section below. I would love to give you any information that I can find on this subject. And remember, it's of God. This is for us. I mean, oh, and I want to talk about straining it. So when I take it here into the house, I use a metal sieve, and then I put a coffee filter inside that as well, and then I strain it through. Now, birch water only lasts so long, right? That's why you drink it fresh. That's why going off the tree, if you just want a little bit, is a good idea. It only lasts for so long, and then it starts to ferment naturally. So what I do with a lot of my birch water that I collect is I freeze it. It doesn't ruin the properties in it, and that way it's stable until I go to use it, and then I can put it into a pot of soup or a pot of stew, and then we still get all those wonderful nutrients and minerals and all of that good stuff. So yeah, it lasts about, I don't know, 2 days. If it's not refrigerated, you can get up to 5 days if it is refrigerated. So it is something that you drink pretty much right away. And like I said, I do freeze some so I can add it to things during the, summer months when we no longer have the birch water coming to us. And that's it. Like I said, if there's any more questions, leave them in the comment section below. Look into this. Now, oh, that was the other thing. So I had mentioned that you can get the birch water off of a branch. You can also just take a knife and kind of gouge into it and use the bark, peel back the bark down, as it'll drip off into a bucket as well. And be very mindful if you're going to try this. Be respectful to the tree before you drill and tap into it, which is why I didn't do my video. Have a minute with the tree. Give thanks to the tree. I usually take a piece of my hair and I give it to whatever plant I'm harvesting. So I'm giving it some of me, and I'm being mindful and respectful to the wonderful things that we're getting. And yes, very important to plug up that hole in the end. Now, some people use wax because the tree will regrow. It will heal and repair itself. Now, I've done both ways on the maple, and I prefer using a wood plug, so that way I clean it off, tap it in there, and it stops the water from coming out so it can stay inside the tree. Like I said, you wouldn't want to just leave it. And if you're going to use a branch, if it's a fairly big branch and it's still dripping when you're done collecting your birch water or whatever, I put a little piece of wax on the end of it just to help it heal up and so it doesn't lose all of its sap. So I thank you again so much for coming to my channel, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.